Welcome, everybody, once again to another edition of Good Health by Claudia, a podcast with me, Denny Schaefer, and a production of Denny Radio. It is we're at 105.
Woo-hoo, that's awesome.
Get a round of applause in there. Episode 105 and growing. And it's because of you people that keep sharing the podcast to get this information out.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate it.
We do.
So share our little clips. I mean, go up to Claudia's Facebook page every day because you never know when something's going to be up there. Lauren's doing a great job with some of her clips. And, and the more you share that, the more people it reaches. People are like, oh, they do a podcast. Well, let's check that out. And, let's just keep the ball rolling.
And people are very much appreciating the information that we're sharing. And one of the biggest things that people will say, well, first of all, whatever the energy is between you and I, which is
it's a good vibe.
It's a good vibe.
It is.
And people see it and express it. But they're also appreciative that the information we're giving them is easy to understand.
Yep.
We're not talking over anybody's heads. And sometimes if we do, Denny says, wait a minute.
Yeah, let's go. Let's dumb it down for me. All right, let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
So, no, we do a good job with that. And, guest after guest, or sometimes it's just you and I.
Yep.
We just enjoy it, and we enjoy you. And like always, put your comments there in the comment section there. Here, I want to show this. Look at that. Leave questions and comments in the comments for Claudia and Denny. There you go. I got a little toy I get to play with. All right, so we have a guest. It is Steven from North American Herb and Spice. He's back. He was on earlier, years ago when we first started. Let's welcome Steven to the broadcast. Hello, Steven, and welcome once again.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
All right, I use his products. I use the oregano drops all the time, nearly every day, especially, as you can hear, I have a little thing going. But it's part of my regimen every day.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm starting to feel sickly or whatever. But I'm assuming we're going to talk more than just oregano with Steven.
Are.
What are we talking about, Claudia?
So we're going to start with oregano, but we're also going to talk about black seed oil because it's a popular conversation apparently right now. And we have a lot of people coming in for it. So
what is it about oregano? What does oregano in itself do for our bodies?
Steven?
How much time do you have? Well,
it's a 30-minute podcast.
What doesn't it do for our bodies? But there's two mechanisms that have been studied. So I'll break it down very easily. One is the antioxidant values, which are just off the charts. You'd have to eat 100 times more blueberries to get what you can get from oregano and oregano oil. Antioxidant, think of that as anti-aging. That's what we want. We're all decaying. We're all wearing down. And you need the antioxidants in your diet to actually help to balance that out. And then on the other hand, what they have studied is the carbacrol mechanism and the different compounds in there that support our microbial balance. Code word for immune support, heavy immune support, even the most, staunch, stubborn, worst kind of buggers that we deal with in our intestines, in our gut. And so that's where it really shines. You put the two together, and then also kind of an understudied mechanism or appreciated is inflammation support, which, we're not making claims about disease, but we have heard inflammation can be a root cause of disease. So antioxidant, inflammation, and excellent microbial support. That's why we love oregano.
Yeah.
So it should be a part of your daily regimen. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. And that's kind of been the problem with oregano oil in the past is because they, a lot of brands, they have said, just take it for 2 to 4 weeks reactively, not proactively. And then you have to cycle off. Hey, maybe it'll kill some of your probiotics. What I love about North American Herb and Spice and the Oregano P73 is we are the only brand that sticks our necks out there to say it is daily use. You can use it without killing so much of the bacteria, and you can be proactive. And so for that reason, I do keep it in the cabinet. I didn't even get into the topical uses for skin and for, things you don't know, these bumps that are showing up. But it's just an amazing thing. It's a go-to. You don't want to be reactive with it.
Right. And it's a wonderful product very powerful. Back whenever all the havoc broke out, 2019 or 20, whatever it was, we had so many people coming in, and I was taking a lot of oregano oil every day.
You were on the front lines over there.
On the front lines, and never had one problem because I was supporting my immune system. And people would say to me, "Aren't you afraid?" No, I'm not afraid. This is, we're teaching people. God gave us an incredible immune system, and we're supporting it with nature's pharmacy. So it's a beautiful synergistic relationship.
So is oregano a natural antibiotic in the body?
That's what they say. It's no different than garlic in the same regard. Oregano is a food, just like garlic. It's natural, has that mechanism. The creator put it there for us for that reason.
Yes.
And I lean towards, what comes from nature more than what man has made. And just because it seems to be more intelligent in our bodies, the way it metabolizes.
Nice way to put it. I like that.
So before I go to the dentist, I have to take an antibiotic. So they tell me, because I had my knee replaced. And for some reason, when you have dental work done,
infection can get
down to the knee.
Right.
But I wouldn't need to take the antibiotic because I take oregano every day.
Well, we never tell anyone to not take a med. I just always make that very clear.
Yeah, but it's me. It's not those people.
A lot of people choose to not do.
I'm not sure I'm going to next time. I got an appointment later on in the year. I don't know. I'll have to decide because I take the oregano. So
yeah. And over the years, we've had a lot of people that supported their immune system with oregano, silver, other things. And
I take silver too.
Yeah. You're doing good.
Yeah,
I'm
going to live to 100.
You're on your way.
Let's talk about the uniqueness of this particular oregano strain. So let's start with where it comes from, where it's grown.
Well, sourcing really matters. I was just putting a video out about that recently because you get the bottle in the store. You don't necessarily have the origin story of, where it was grown and how it was grown and why that matters. So you wouldn't get olive oil from Kansas necessarily, right? You would try to get it from Italy. There's a reason for that. Nothing wrong with Kansas if you're listening, if you're tuning in from there. But the oregano that we get, there's over 60 different species on the planet. So we have to be very selective. What we like about the oregano that we get is actually it's not farmed. It is from the mountains. There is no irrigation. There is no fertilizers. There are definitely no pesticides. It's not being pampered. It's grown at these higher elevations off of rocks, higher than 6,000 feet above sea level. Yeah. That causes a challenging environment. And it's exactly that challenging environment, that oxygen deprivation that actually allows for a stronger plant with these higher degrees of compounds. And we chose 4 different species and put them together in a blend. Everyone else does one species. We took that one, we did 3 others, and that's what makes us very different.
And it's coming from what area of the world? When you talk about the mountains and all that, where's it coming from?
So if you're, depending on how good you are with geography, in the Mediterranean Sea region, if you look towards the northeastern part of that sea, there is, in the country we now call Turkey, there is a mountain range at the southern part of that country. And that is, there's about 8 to 9 mountain ranges. And there's about 200 different village co-ops that we work with within those mountain ranges that are all picking. Oregano is perennial, grows on its own every year. And that's how we do it.
And then is it being, once they pick it, then is it being processed there, or what happens after that?
Good question. Well, very important. And this is the same thing with black seed, that when you harvest, the clock is ticking. And that's true for any produce, anything. The longer you wait, the less fresh it is, the more it oxidizes, and the less powerful the final product is. So what we do is we take all of that oregano down from the mountains. We immediately process it. We have a facility there that we have purchased, and we steam distill there on site the oil. And then that oil is sent back to us in big drums, and then we bottle everything and manufacture here.
Wow, that's quite the process.
Oh, it's a wonderful. Well, and then that's why it's so powerful. It's fresh. It's being processed quickly. So we're very grateful to have this product. So here's a bottle of oregano. You can show that.
Here we go.
There's
Got
oregano.
my oil here.
Oh, you got the drops.
And you've got the extra, is that the extra strength?
So this is the Orega Ultra. This is kind of the highest, the 84% carbacrol. It's even above super strength.
Yes.
Most of the time you don't need this. I'm just being fancy. That's the one. That's the staple he's holding up there.
And we always tell people start simple because it's a very powerful product. So you start with one capsule, you start with the liquid with a couple drops, and you work up slowly because it's known to have antifungal activity, correct? Antibacterial, antimicrobial.
Okay.
I tell customers it's anti everything that we don't, that the critters in our system.
So if it's powerful, I mean, that leads me to ask the question, if you're taking too much or you got to start slow,
you start slow work.
How do you know, I mean, what are some of the side effects or pardon me, and maybe I need some oregano.
You're doing good. You've been supporting your immune system and
With
you're coming along, man. That's what it's about.
So how do you know it's working for you and how much it takes, Steven?
So it is very powerful and it's very potent and concentrated. When I mentioned the steam distillation of the raw material, it's almost 100 to 1. We do put the olive oil carrier with that. We're very careful with the ratio so that you can take it edibly. We were the first company to put the olive oil carrier together. Mm-hmm. So I guess the bottom line is you don't need much. Why waste your money? You just take a small amount and it will actually work for you. I would say proactively, you're going to do something like 1 to 2 soft gels a day. If you're doing the soft gels that Denny was holding up, and, reactively, if there's something going on that's bugging you that you want to address and deal with, you could take easily 2 to 4 capsules 2 to 3 times a day for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Until you start to feel things getting better, and then you can kind of go down from there. I think there's a mistake that people make and it's always balanced, but you don't want to do too little. You don't want to just take 2 to 3 drops when you're going through something. You want to actually be, you want to have the confidence and the peace of mind that you can do more, and you can. Now, sometimes if it's your first time using it, it's a strong taste. If you're doing the soft gels, there is no taste. But you only need start slow. Don't do it on an empty stomach. Have a little bit of something in the morning, on the stomach, and just do it like that. It's consistency that really matters, not how much you took in one shot.
Right. And I always encourage people when you're working on supporting when you're dealing with something like you want to do it at least 3 times a day. Whatever you're taking, you're nourishing your immune system throughout the day.
Yeah.
Take it with meals. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful, wonderful product to have in everybody's natural toolkit. So
now, does he have the product that goes up the nose, the oregano?
Yes, I didn't bring it. There was a lot I'm looking
What's
at.
it called? Sinu or something?
Yeah, Sinu Orega. So it's just
okay.
You're
let me
familiar.
just warn people, Steven. I got to interrupt you. I have some of that. All right,
strong.
And I've been congested, and I'm like, oh, I have that because I do the drops and I do it three times a day, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Oh my gosh, you hit that, and you're like, whoa, it is overwhelming.
It's powerful,
but it's awesome. So yeah. I'm just going to tell you, if you're a thrill seeker, get that product.
That's right. It'll take you for a ride.
Well, and there's also the oregano spray. I encourage customers, the spray, take it with you. You want a good sanitizer? I use it when I go out. I use it on everything. And if I go to a trade show and I'm in a hotel, I spray it on the knobs and, the doorknobs and in the bathroom. I put it everywhere. So it's a wonderful product. So next, we're going to talk about black seed. Black seed oil is very popular right now. And it's from the cumin seed. So, Steven, tell us about this one.
Well, black seed's been used for millennia, just like oregano, and we get it from the same place. We get it from Turkey, where the best black seed on earth is found genetically, and that's why we love it. We've been doing it since the 90s, since we've been doing oregano, and we do believe oregano and black seed are the top 2 herbs you can take. There are so many. We believe these are the top. This is the president and the vice president over here that you can have in your Oval Office.
Talking about of herbs.
Yes, yeah.
Herbs.
People.
Yeah.
So I love black seed because it has a lot of overlap with oregano, but it can be more gentle. So we have seen people with more sensitive digestion tracts, maybe a little older in their years, more sensitive to taste, and even sometimes during pregnancy and during nursing periods, having being able to rely on black seed and be able to reach for that. It does support the immune system very well, just like oregano does. If you have something really strong that you're dealing with in that regard, you should take both. But also it helps the digestive tract. It's a lubricant, kind of like oil for our cars. And also inflammation, it helps with that too. Autoimmune, you know, it seems to be a little bit more modulating, and it help to adjust the immune system. For the heart, it's amazing. Blood pressure support, cholesterol support, heart rhythm support in all of the studies. For weight and metabolically, black seed does a little bit more. So for the weight, they did a study, 6 to 8 weeks, overweight women using 1 to 2 teaspoons a day. All of their BMI went down, and that's human study. And there's multiple studies about that. And that they didn't say in the study that they were exercising. I hope that they were. But if they exercise and do that, let's just say it's favorable for weight management. And then also parasite cleanse, something that black seed and oregano can do together. Black seed has a little bit more full spectrum there. And for detoxification of the liver and the kidneys, black seed can also be used. So it's another staple, but you got to get the good fresh stuff like we get from turkey.
So it's interesting that you're saying about weight loss, because since we've had a lot of people coming in for black seed over the last, couple years, whatever, it's been popular now. I've had a few women tell me they've lost weight and they haven't really changed anything. So tell me again, it's good for the intestinal tract. So what does it do? It's anti-inflammatory for the intestinal tract?
Yeah, supports inflammation there, but also microbial balance and it support just like oregano does. It does the same exact, all the antis that you mentioned earlier, same exact profile, just a little bit more modulating and more gentle on the gut and things like that if you're more sensitive. But if you think of the average person, 73% of people in the United States are overweight or obese. That is a fact. Over 80% of people have a metabolic dysfunction or irregular situation. So black seed and oregano together could really help a lot of folks that are listening.
Here's the combo that they make.
Oh, there's a combo.
There's the combo.
I like it.
Yep. They're in there
That's
together.
drops. You can give that to kids and to the elderly. I mean, that right there is very gentle. It has some yacon syrup, which is a prebiotic, very sweet like honey. And honey and black seed, also a traditional mixture, really helps it taste good and absorb very quickly into the bloodstream.
Because anybody drinking straight black seed oil will come in and say, oh my God, that stuff tastes awful. But they feel better because of it. But with this one, we've had people tell us it tastes pretty good. And so that's the Yukon syrup. Is that what you said?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Straight from Peru.
Yes, I didn't realize it was a prebiotic.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it's kind of like a potato. It's like a sweet potato kind of thing that comes out of Peru, and it has prebiotic properties, good for the gut.
So to clarify what that means, when prebiotics first started coming in the market, and I told our buyer, we're not bringing that in. It's just another product to sell.
Right.
But once I really understood what prebiotics were doing, they're very important. So it's really, I think, because of modern times, because of the diet, the prebiotics are coming from their fiber that feed the good bacteria.
It's food for your bacteria.
Say it again.
It's food for your bacteria.
Yes. And when I got thinking about it, before industrialization and all the junk everybody's eating, cultures were eating fibrous foods that were feeding the good flora. But in this day and age, we always talk about fiber and how people aren't getting enough of it. And there's particular ones that will help feed that flora. So I've learned prebiotics in this day and age, very important. And so it's good to know that that's what that is doing.
So you can take it on an empty stomach?
You can. Yeah, that's pretty gentle. You take that anytime with food or without it.
All right. I have a request. It says 40 drops. 40 drops under the tongue. Seriously, dude, we got to fix that. How do we fix that? That's too many.
Let me fix that right away. The easiest thing to do here, and it's a small dropper. 40 drops is just one dropper, which is not that much. If you think about it, it's like less than a teaspoon.
Wow, this is really thick.
Yeah, that's it's
Right,
got the some of the black seed and the thicker things. You just squeeze a dropper and you've done your 40 drops.
There you go. Simple.
Oh, that's delicious.
Wow, nobody has said that before.
It is delicious because I had the oregano earlier, just straight oregano.
Yeah.
And that'll wake you up.
There you go.
That going under your tongue is like, okay, you're taking something, but that is
Nice.
kind of sweet and refreshing.
Yeah.
The way you did it too is kind of smart because you
I know
you
that.
got the oregano out of the way first, and then you took something that tasted better to kind of coat that. Now you've got that on your palate.
I mean, I can taste the oregano, but there's that sweetness you were talking about.
That's
That is
the
actually pretty delicious. So one dropper then basically. Okay.
That's it.
So a lot of people are coming in, there's a lot of talk on the internet and whatever, TikTok, and all these people are talking about parasite cleansing. And it's always interesting to me. I learned about parasite cleansing literally 50 years ago. And Pat and Joe, we talked about this on one of our episodes. They put a lot of people on parasite cleansing way back when. Now you have a lot of people saying, oh, this, about the biofilm, that it doesn't break down the biofilm or the worm or the parasites. And, it's so black seed oil. Has there been research done on that with parasites?
Yes, there has. It's kind of a sleeper for parasite cleansing. Most people don't mention it. They'll mention some of the other staples.
Right.
Black seed oil has several studies on multiple parasite types, not just a, one trick pony. So, I would at least say incorporate it in your parasite cleanse. It doesn't need to be a standalone, but on its own, it deserves to be in the regimen with other things, black walnut, pumpkin seed,
right,
etc.
And, addressing parasites is a big deal. But we always start with the fungal issue. I've always said that. We start with the fungal issue. And, of course, we use the oregano as part of that protocol. But
because everything starts in the gut.
Everything starts in the gut.
There you go. Well, if you put oregano and black seed together, you'd be hard pressed to find any area that was missed in terms of cleansing, inflammation, antioxidant, metabolic support, heart health, weight management. It covers everything.
I've taken oregano for years, but I think I'm going to start taking the combo. I think sounds like a good thing.
You're not taking this one because I just used it.
So good. Anything else we should go over?
Well, there's so much I'd love to go over, but we'll just have to let people wait for the next one.
All right, there you go. I like that.
Awesome, Steven. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you and your knowledge.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
I'm sending you a hug, Steven. Good to see you.
You too. Take care.
Take care. Boom. Another good one. I'll tell you, this is delicious.
Wow, you like that.
Very rarely do you find something like that.
Yeah.
Very yummy.
That has that kind of efficacy, and it tastes good. Because a lot of the herbs that are beneficial are bitter.
Right.
They're bitter. And there's a category of herbs called bitters. And they are very important for a lot of things in the human body, but not everybody wants to take them because of how they taste. So I'm glad you like that.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us, everybody. Again, leave your questions in the comments for Claudia, not me, other than what's wrong with you. Everybody already knows that. Please share today's video. We always appreciate, you do that. Get the word out.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Just,
final words for Claudia.
Nature's toolbox. It's magnificent. The more you learn it, the more you'll love it. You gotta use herbs to understand how they work. It's not just something that, you're reading in a lot of people reading medical journals and then determining if an herb is productive or not. That's not how you learn herbs. These are living things. These are energetic and they have beautiful activity. So it's taking them in and feeling what they're doing for you. That's how you learn about herbs. So it's a beautiful thing to do. Expand your toolbox. And, anymore, I keep saying, don't get drugged, get nourished.
Yeah, I love that.
And this is the way to do it. So
when's those bumper stickers going to show up in your store?
I had a customer ask me the other day, you should put that on a bumper sticker. I'm thinking, you never know. Maybe I will.
I think we ought to copyright that. Just saying.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. We enjoy being here with you. We're grateful that you're tuning in. There's so much to share, and keep the faith, everybody, and nourish yourself. It's a beautiful thing to do. Peace.